What's up, everybody? It's JT Sports and back to you guys with another video. In this video, I'm here with Joe Noobo. We're going to be talking about the Baltimore Ravens training camp preview for 2019. And he's going to be previewing the Baltimore Ravens training camp, going to be telling us some players to watch and some things that we should be on the lookout for. So, no, Joe Noobo, what's up, man?
What's up, man? How's everybody doing today? Glad to be here. Glad you're having me on.
Thanks, man. So, the Baltimore Ravens, you guys had an interesting season last year. You guys were 4-5. Flacco got hurt. Lamar came in, my favorite NFL player, saved the day, led you guys to the playoffs, and it ended against the LA Chargers. So now you guys got a new offensive coordinator, Greg Roman. So RG3 a few days ago said that the NFL isn't ready for you guys' new offense. So what what is this new offense like? Do you have a little bit of insight about it going into training camp? What are some things that's going to be looked for to this new offense going into training camp?
Well, it's interesting, definitely, because if we look back at last year, and I mean, as a Ravens fan, it was super exciting to watch Lamar come in, and he just brought this new swag, I guess, to the team. That it just made it exciting to watch. Whereas, I mean, I love Flacco; he's always going to be my quarterback, even now that he's not even on the Ravens anymore. But just something that Lamar brought some excitement, man. Like it was just exciting for us to watch, for us Ravens fans to watch, and especially like you said, we were pretty much just looking towards the draft. We were 4-5. We're like, oh man, the Steelers are 7-2 or whatever, and then we just somehow did that comeback, which was crazy. So basically, what I think to expect from this offense this next year, it's I it's tough, man, because I think that if everything works out, this definitely can be one of the most exciting offenses in the league. However, if things don't work out, which is definitely a real possibility, because this team, people seem to forget that this team, especially this offense, is very young. We have a lot of young players. Of course, Lamar, I think he's only going to be 23. He's coming into his second season. And then, of course, you have some young receivers in Hollywood Brown and Miles Boykin. You have some young tight ends, Mark Andrews coming into his second year, Hayden Hurst, of course. So this offense is very, very young. So, of course, there's probably going to be a lot of mistakes. And I don't know what to really expect necessarily. I think, like I said earlier, this definitely could potentially be a super exciting offense because we have so much speed everywhere. We drafted Justice Hill. That's another facet. He's a very fast running back, speed style, scat back. So I would definitely expect for this offense to be very fast. But also we have some, we just signed Mark Ingram as well. So we have some guys like Gus Edwards that can pound that football, man. So it's definitely, I would say, a dynamic offense. But, of course, like I said, everything has to come together. And right now I'm just not entirely sure if everything is going to work out. I do hope so.
Okay, so my second question is, what are some players to look out for, and like, what are some guys that you're going to be watching as we approach training camp or when training camp begins?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the biggest thing that everybody's looking out for, if you're a Ravens fan, is the wide receiver competition because we have, I would say, there's 3 or 4 guys that are for sure going to make the roster, and I have, of course, Hollywood Brown, Miles Boykin, and I think that Willie Snead, of course, and then you have Chris Moore, who also is going to make the roster. He's a solid special teamer, and also he's stepped up a little bit on offense, and I'm hoping he takes that next step. But then you have guys like Seth Roberts, who's a veteran. He was with the Raiders for a while, so he has that veteran leadership that he could potentially bring to the team. Then you have guys that look really good, like Antoine Wesley, who I really liked coming out of Texas Tech, I believe. And then you have just some other undrafted guys like Joe Horn Jr. That's an interesting prospect there. Jalen Smith, you have the Lamar Jackson, Jalen Smith, Louisville connection that's nice to look out for. You also have guys from that we drafted last year, like Jaleel Scott, Jordan Lastly. So the wide receiver room, I would definitely say, is something to take a look at, especially in the preseason to look out for. That's pretty much the offensive side. Pretty much everything else is set in stone, I would say. But on the defense, I would definitely say the linebacker position is something to keep an eye out on because we have our starters, I would say, in Peanut, Patrick Owasu, and Kenny Young. They're going to be the starters, but after that, you don't really know. There's a little bit of a question mark there. So you have players like Chris Ford, you have a bunch of other undrafted guys, Silas Stewart, Ajayi, I think his name is, and Otara Laka. There's a bunch of undrafted guys that you just don't know who's going to step up. So linebacker, of course, edge rusher as well with Terrell Suggs being gone now. We got to see who's going to step up. I'm hoping it's going to be one of the guys like Tim Williams, Tyus Bowser, Matt Judon definitely needs to take that next step up. And yeah, honestly, I would say those are definitely the positions to keep an eye out on for sure.
Go watch TV. Okay, so on the defensive line, I think a guy that I want to throw in because I'm a Miami Hurricane fan, Gerald Willis. So you guys signed him. He was undrafted. He was a big surprise that he went undrafted, and it was basically because like a former coaching staff of Miami had trashed him, and then he ended up dropping. So I think that's a big signing for you guys. And Gerald Willis is a very good player. He was projected. I had him going in the third round. Some people had him going in the fourth. Some people had him going in the third also. So do you think it's a spot for him on that defensive line position for the Baltimore Ravens? He plays defensive tackle, so I'm pretty sure he'll end up playing nose tackle or defensive tackle. Do you think it's a spot for him?
I do think there's a spot for him because when you have a player that is so talented like Gerald Willis, you can't just deny him, right? You can't just not give him playing time. I think he will definitely get some playing time. I think for sure he's going to make the roster. I did watch some of his tape going back after we signed him, and I was very, very impressed by what he's able to do. So there was news that came out of training camp. Funny enough, that Michael Pierce came into camp overweight. So if he has trouble getting back into shape, then that could potentially open the door for someone like Gerald Willis or Dalen Mack, who we did draft in the fourth round this year, or some of the younger guys like Chris Wormley to step up in there, and I think we'll be just fine. But even if Michael Pierce does get back in shape, and we have our starters like Michael Pierce and Brandon Williams, I could definitely see us rotating them in and out with like a Gerald Willis, like you mentioned, because I think it's good to have depth on the defensive line. That's just that's one of the things that the championship team needs, and that's what we're trying to do, obviously.
So my last question is I have a big question about the halfback position because you guys have a lot of guys on at halfback, a lot of depth there, and I've been making a lot of videos about it. I did my Baltimore Ravens halfback preview, and you guys have Mark Ingram, Gus Edwards, Kenneth Dixon. You guys got the dude from Justice Hill. And I was asking what would happen, and a lot of people said keep Edwards and trade Kenneth Dixon. So who do you think? Because preseason is going to be a big opening for these halfbacks because a lot of these halfbacks, other than Mark Ingram, Gus Edwards, Kenneth Dixon, there's a little bit of competition there for reps, and I think preseason is going to be a good opportunity to showcase or decide who's going to remain on the roster and stuff like that. So, who do you think is going to end up being the number two back behind Mark Ingram, and who do you think could end up being the odd man out?
Absolutely. So I've thought about this a lot as well because I definitely agree with you. I think Mark Ingram is going to be the guy. I think he's going to be the workhorse, no doubt about it. That's pretty much why we signed him because last year we basically had Gus Edwards as our starting running back, and he's not bad at all. He's good, but he just does pretty much one thing, which is he's a north-south runner. He's going to fall forward. He's going to get those extra yards, run it right up the middle. But he's not a very good receiving back, at least not from what we saw last year. Maybe he's want to improve that over the off season, which if he has, that's great. That'll definitely make him have a step up over Kenneth Dixon. And the thing with Kenneth Dixon, it's funny because he's it's just like a hot and cold relationship that a bunch of Ravens fans have with him, including myself. He'll sometimes go out there, he'll make some good plays, but then there's other times that he'll just be fumbling the ball or he'll just have all these mental mistakes. And then also the biggest is that he just can't stay healthy. So that's definitely one of his biggest problems. I definitely think that Gus Edwards has a leg up on Kenneth Dixon right now. So I would definitely look out for Gus Edwards to be the number two back right now. However, I think Justice Hill could potentially take that spot from him if he has a really, really good preseason or if he just starts really meshing well with the offense. And I think Justice Hill right now is going to be a very, very good third down back for us. And I think he'll just out of the backfield. He's going to be, when we need some speed on the field, the same time as Lamar. I would definitely expect to see a lot of that. But I do think right now Gus Edwards has the number two spot on lockdown. And maybe Kenneth Dixon can turn some heads. Maybe he'll surprise some people. I'm not sure. I don't really expect it. He could potentially be a trade option. I don't know if any other team would want to trade for Kenneth Dixon, to be honest with you. But, I mean, if we were to get rid of one of the running backs, if we just wanted to keep three on the roster, I could definitely see Kenneth Dixon being that odd man out. So,
Okay, everybody, that is Joe Noobo. If you guys don't know who Joe Noobo is, he runs a Baltimore Ravens channel. And make sure to check him out. I also have a card to his channel. It's at the beginning of the video. If you guys didn't see it, you guys can click on that to subscribe to his channel. Also, his channel will be down in the comment section down below. And Joe Noobo, thanks for giving us a little bit of your time today, coming on, doing a training camp preview for the Baltimore Ravens.
yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
No problem, man. Take care.